What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. Amazon Kindle Create Space. I've been chilling on this topic. I'm gonna get in some other topics in the next couple of days. Feminists are running back to men. See, it was all good when everybody thought that Hillary Clinton could win because ultimately figured women were gonna vote for Hillary since they were the minority and the majority all at the same time, and they wanted to make history, you know. But the fact that white women in particular voted about 60% for Donald Trump, and now that he's president, it put a hole in feminism, which they were stumping around for, and also put a hole in the sisterhood of all these different races and ethnicities and religions of women who thought they were all for the same and for the empowerment of women. And then it also put a dent into the idea that men are the enemy because these women were betrayed by other women. So after the aftermath, and you see what's going on now, and people's, I guess, lack of respect for the presidency and lack of respect for the competence of it, and all of the white nationalists, white supremacists, which basically means racist, ideologies and moves that are being made. You're seeing these feminists like, wait a minute, this is what y'all wanted. This is what y'all voted for. This is who y'all are. So all that stuff y'all been talking for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, when it came to prove how real you were for the cause, you proved who you was down with. Those men, right? But now, all the women who were saying that they were so oppressed by men are slowly trying to backtrack and act like, oh, we love men. We need to come together. All the women who said, I was strong and independent, I'm the backbone of the community, I can do bad all by myself, are now all of a sudden all family oriented and wanting love to be in the air. And the problem with that is this: nobody forgot what you said. Nobody forgot the things you've done. Nobody forgot your opportunistic actions that were hypocritical. So, you know, even though some of you are running back to men, that doesn't mean men trust you. Because once again, you've dug yourself a hole with all of your rhetoric and all of your ideologies and your opportunism, and now you're looking for the very men that were the enemy, the oppressor, the manipulator, the rapist, the bad guy is now the guy you want to run to bail you out of a situation that you put yourself into, which also plays into the ideology that men have been saying for years. Y'all doing this to y'allself. Men not doing this to y'all on a mass scale. Women are doing this to y'all. So now that, in real time it can be actually seen and agreed upon, but pride is in the way because women are not saying, you know what, we were wrong for the last 50 years. We were wrong for the last 40, 30, 20, 10 years. Let's make this right. They're not doing that. They're just slowly backtracking their rhetoric for some odd reason, as if everything that happened prior won't exist, and men will just be like, okay, you stupid and we don't remember nothing. Okay, you gonna give us some pussy? Okay, that shit ain't gonna happen because ultimately, if you can't acknowledge that you were wrong and you had a problem and your problems created problems, what are you doing? Because a lot of the ideologies that have been going on the last 40, 50 years created different generations, um, and those ideologies morphed and transformed into something a lot worse. So are these women who, 40, 50 years into it, are they apologizing to fix anything? No. Are these women that are 30, 20 years into it apologizing to fix anything? No. Are these women 10 years and under who said, this didn't work out the way, so let's just, they're using men for a stopgap because they're not apologizing and they're not going to fix anything. So it's hard for guys to take these women seriously, you feminists, because you got to remember all the things that you've done. All the using the government to get ahead, all of using the family court system to get ahead, law enforcement to get ahead, media propaganda to get ahead, um, you know, chivalry to get ahead when it's convenient, and independence and affirmative action to get ahead when it's convenient. And ironically, now that you still not where you want to be because you actually sabotage yourselves, you're gonna ask the bad guy to fix it. It's not gonna work. Now, when you and I left out the lesbianism, but I shouldn't have left that out because that's a big part of it. The idea that men ain't manly enough, so I'm gonna get a woman who's faking like she a man, and she gonna be man enough for me. You know, the idea of alienating different sides of the family from input on the children's lives, on families' lives, and not just children. That's family. You know, and not to say, not to run back as if you saying my bad without ever saying my bad or I'm sorry, or without trying to fix the problem that you caused or ignoring the problem that you created. It's not a good look. And ironically, you feminists of different races who follow white women into feminism, you saw them go back to their men, so it looked like y'all kind of took a break from going back to y'all men like real fast, because it'd be like, okay, let's ease back into it, because the white women went back to their men like that. So if they went back like that, they was all together in the first place. We really wasn't all together. We actually betrayed our men to do this. So how we gonna do this? We're gonna project and double talk and act like you didn't want us anyway, and that's why we did what we did, and you never liked us, and we were protecting ourselves, and we only set out to hurt you because we figured that you were gonna hurt us first. And women in the 30s, they look how they got treated. You're ignoring everything that went on in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000 and 2010s. It's bad. So who's gonna pay for that? Your daughters? But some of y'all are paying for feminism now, which is why marriage is not as high as it used to be. Women are hitting the wall left and right. Single parenting and single motherhood, is not a badge of honor anymore. It's back to being a bad thing, a curse. Like you damn it, you done, son. It's over, son. Being a divorced wife, because women have had asked for divorce for like 70% of the time, they're the one who asked to be married. It's starting to, you dug yourself a hole you can't get out of. And running back to the men is not necessarily going to help you because, like I said before, the men don't trust you. The data's in, the stats are in, the information is in. All of the propaganda that was all contradictory to your own cause that you've done with a straight face like nobody saw it. All that's in. And because all that, the chickens are coming home to roost, some of you chickens ain't gonna have a farm to go to. I'm out.